I mean, seafood, not seafood, I should say that.
You're not eating them, honey. You're not eating them.
All right. Welcome to the Yanagida Podcast Show, episode 44. Episode 44, ladies and gentlemen. We got Toni Rojas in the house. Toni!
Right,
I don't even know, like, this is just incredible.
Finally.
Toni. She was one of the first people back in the day. Maybe 2 years ago or so. You were like, you have to do a podcast. Like, you have whatever it was that you saw in me back then. And even from before, like you were just one of those people, Toni, that people around you always get better. So
that's kind of you to say.
It's testament to who you are, Toni. So people are probably curious, how did we meet? So
how did we meet?
How did we meet? Yeah.
I think that you may have come by Queen Kamanu Center and was saying, "Hey guys, you want to come down and do some working out?" And I was like, "No, I don't." So it was one of the girls that I was working with, my team member Marina, who said, she said, "Girl, you got to get down there. You got to get down there." And I was feeling really uncomfortable because I was working a lot of hours and didn't get to really spend any time for myself. And she dragged me down there. And I said she had to come with me.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
and
right.
we did the first workout, and I was so concerned I wasn't going to survive. And then I actually came back the second time.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, it was the next day.
The next day.
But I know you were concerned about me too, because once I hit that corner where you go up the hill, you would come out and check on me, make sure that I hadn't passed out on the roadway.
That's right. I would pop my head out.
Right. Is she still there?
Yeah,
Is she still breathing? That would be me. And then I did you a favor and started wearing bright shirts so you could see me from afar.
That's right. You know, Toni, it's just amazing. And that part, and even before that, I remember it was like a message on social media, right? 5 years ago, end of 2016. And I remember getting this message like, me? Are you sure? Like, I had major imposter syndrome.
Right.
Like, I couldn't even believe it. I was like,
we had some mutual friends on social media, and I was looking for someone to head up kind of a real health fitness, work with me on an event, and then also potentially be an MC.
Oh, that's right.
And I saw all your high energy on social media, and I went, that's the guy. That's the one I want. And as you've learned, I have no problem picking up the phone and just asking someone something.
Smile and dial.
So I said, oh, by the way, hello, it's me.
And I was like, whoa, Toni. Yeah. And the rest was history.
The rest was history. Yeah. I know I had to do a little pushing in reference to the MC part later on.
That's right. I remember that. Yeah. The MC.
Yeah, a man who was a little very humble and not necessarily wanting to get up in the spotlight. Very active and loud in his studio. Yeah, you're right. But when it came to being in front of Joe Public, you weren't quite sure.
I know. I was so nervous. I remember having a hard time sleep the night before. It was just like, oh man, like I don't even know what I'm doing. And I think it was 2017 we did that event. I remember thinking, wow, okay, here we go. And we did that workout, and we just kind of kept continuing.
Yep, and then
we have all the pictures still at the gym.
Yep, and after that, you haven't stopped since.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's a incredible 5 years. I know you tried
to convince me to get somebody else too.
I remember that.
And I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I remember
do
that. Yeah. That was who was it? She was from Blue Zones. Kaimana. Shout out Kaimana.
Yeah, shout out to Kaimana.
She's awesome.
She's an incredible
another high energy person.
Yeah. And she works out every single day.
Every day.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yep. So I know you wanted me to ask her, and I said no. 'Cause, I think that everyone needs a push now and then.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're a little hesitant, and we just have to get over that fence. And I think that that's what happened. And after that, I mean, it was just very easy, and it appeared very easy for you. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I mean, because after that, we went on the radio, 98.3, and I remember thinking like, oh, this is actually much easier than doing something live in front of people. Like,
It's true, because no one can see you.
Yeah, it's just me and Ed Kanoy.
Yep, and you're just talking story.
You just talk story.
That's right.
Welcome to the. Oh, it wasn't that Yanagida. Welcome to the 90 Kiss FM.
Right. Some advertising. Dang. That was good. That was good experience too.
But that was because of you, Toni.
Well, you have that DJ voice.
There we go. DJ Justin.
It's a DJ Justin.
There you go.
Yeah. That'll be another kind of branch of the Yanagida.
There we go. DJ.
Corporate.
Go DJ. It's your birthday. Yeah. So Toni, how did we get started in all of this? Like
in what?
Ocean Center. I mean, you have such a vast history from working and just doing all sorts of big projects and big things, and so we're at Maui Ocean Center here now. Mm-hmm. As the director of marketing. Mm-hmm. And how did this all happen? How did you start? When did you start?
Oh my goodness. Well, I started here, about a year and a half ago. Mm-hmm. So most of it was COVID.
Oh, right before COVID.
So I came in and kind of hit the ground running, and then it was COVID, and then got back, and here we are. I always looked at Maui Ocean Center as such an incredible attraction. Mm-hmm. And because I've always been in the hospitality industry, I had done business with them before. Mm-hmm. And I had a mutual friend, Sue, shout out to Sue, who invited me to come and talk to them about joining them as director of marketing. So and I just love the ocean, and I'm one of these people that gaze into these tanks like the one behind us.
It's beautiful.
And it's just such a calming thing. But also what I learned, and I was so excited about, was once I got in, was learning about how much education we offer here. And
education.
It's not just for the little ones, it's also for adults, from keiki to kapuna. It's about educating them about marine life and the connections that the Hawaiian culture has to the ocean, and sustainability. Not just marine conservation, but overall sustainability. So that I got so very excited about, and I said to our GM, I said, look, you're doing all of these different things and no one knows about it. So let's get you out there some more so people know that you're making these efforts. Mm-hmm. Let me give you just one simple example. So of course we have to pump ocean into all of our tanks. Mm-hmm. Well, when you do that in a simplified version, it is that it goes through our systems, right? And then it gets pumped back out. So it actually goes back out cleaner than what it came in.
Wow.
And there's 1.2 million gallons
that
are actually pumped through every day. Every day, and it's cleaner. Now, if we were not doing that, the Maalaea harbor would have still water, and it wouldn't be as clean as it is. So, and Harry actually is going to stop by here, is from a curatorial department. We have a huge team over there that do an incredible job, and they're back of house. These are marine biologists. They have a passion for the ocean and marine life, and they take care of all the animals. So a marine life here, we do not own, and we don't profess to own. They're all in our care temporarily. Some of them may be ill, may need some, rehab.
There you go.
May need some R&R, So they come here and they stay with us for short periods of time, and then they're released back into the natural environment, of course, around the area if it's still suitable for them.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know. It's great, isn't it? Yeah. There's so many little things like that people really don't know, and eventually we'll get all of this information out there.
Wow. So if someone's interested in that part of the education, how can somebody find out more?
Well, there's a couple things. It's important to, of course, have a passion for something like this, right? And it depends whether you want to be in the back of house or you want to be in front of house, because there's all kinds of positions. Curatorial tends to be more back of house. These are the divers. They clean the tanks. They feed them, regulating all of the water. We've got an operations team that works closely with them as well, because we're also depicting the environments that they were in the ocean.
Wow.
So we're not creating a whole new faux tank by any means. Yeah, so it's very close to how they were living in the ocean. Wow. But if you like the front of house, then we have marine naturalists, and they're the educators in the front of the house where they walk around and they talk to the public and make sure that all the answers are given about all of the animals. Actually, while I was just waiting in here next to the tank, I had a few people come up and ask a few questions about the company and the sharks and other things. So I'm slowly becoming more educated as well about marine life.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is that we make sure that we all support the sustainability effort and specifically caring for our marine life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I didn't even know that. Like the 1.2 million gallons coming in and out, it's clean, and the animals, and to me, every time I see this, I'm just amazed. And people probably watching this are amazed too. Like, they're so friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they are from this side.
Oh my goodness.
They are actually pretty friendly,
Yeah.
and otherwise they wouldn't. Our divers wouldn't be in there. But no, they know how to combine the various marine life too. I also found out the same happens with corals. Some corals don't get along well with other corals. So we have a curator from our corporate office, which is in Israel, who is currently here actually, and he comes over and double checks all of that. And he's been working with the company, I believe, for over 30, 45 years, something like that.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's a long time.
Yeah, it is. So I've learned a lot along the way. This is something I wasn't so familiar with. I was always being on top of the ocean.
Right.
Little kayaking here and there, but I don't know about under the ocean
Below
yet.
the surface.
Yeah, but I would like to get my scuba certificate, sure.
What does that look like? Scuba
I have no
certificate?
idea.
Oh, there
I
you
have
go.
no
Just
idea.
jump right in.
But I've got to get working out because I got to get into those black scuba outfits.
Hey,
You know.
there you go. Yeah, working out and
Right.
it's just amazing, Toni. Like every time I see you, it just looks like you're getting younger and bigger smile and just your
Bless
hair
you.
and everything.
I knew you were my favorite. I knew it from the very beginning.
No, when I saw you, I was like, "Is that Toni?" Like, oh dang! And I was like, "Oh, Toni."
Well, the only thing I'm doing right now, as much as I'd like to say that I should be with you on that 6-week challenge that is starting up in a little while, is I swim. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I've really enjoyed that, and as I've matured, I've learned that it's a lot easier on my joints.
Yes.
And it keeps me cool.
You
know, I have that problem.
Oh my goodness, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you were mentioning during the summertime, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh man, we should get more members in AC.
Yeah, will you hurry up and get another 1,000 members so we can put some AC in this place? Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
man.
when I was there too, you had it was pretty new. And when we worked out, there was only maybe 5 people at the most. And the person next to me was a 16-year-old who was trying to get, ready for the football season.
That's right, yep.
So here is this guy next to me and here is me.
That's right. We didn't split the classes yet.
No. And it was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was all great, and they were friendly, and they were lovely, and everything else. But at some point when I get overheated, I'm like, I just have to take a second.
Yeah.
Just give me a little second, and then I'll catch up to that 16-year-old.
Yeah. Oh, that was something that we were just talking about. Was the combination? It was just one class.
Yeah.
And we would just call it a strength and fitness class.
There were days where I was the only one. It was just you and me.
It would just be us.
I was like, oh wow, I get a private today.
One-on-one, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
But actually, that was also hotter.
Yeah. Because I would have both eyes on.
Right.
Both eyes.
Damn, I have to do it just right now.
Yeah.
Man,
Oh,
I can't sneak by on this one.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's some good times, Toni. So.
It was really good times.
Yeah.
I so enjoyed it, and I've learned along the way that now that I'm at a mature age, that if I had started earlier, it sure would have been a lot easier all the way around. And if I had committed myself long term, and it's part of your life, right? Right? And I can get so easily swayed, but for those that are thinking about rejuvenating themselves with health and fitness, I can just say, commit to it, and commit to it for life. no matter what it is
no matter what
that you
it
do,
is.
and just keep moving every day. I always know that I was really hard on myself too when I couldn't make it because of work, and that would be the reason why I didn't have a regular 9-to-5 job and still don't. So, if you can carve out just that time for yourself every day, it's going to benefit you so much more in the long run. So you could say I've learned the very hard way. So don't make my mistakes.
Start young, just start working out, be consistent.
Right, yeah,
Oh
be
my
consistent,
gosh.
right.
So speaking of fitness now, and then going into, let's just say like, if people wanted me to ask you this, like career-wise, what would your advice be? I mean, to just kind of like work your way up, what are like some of the things that you
career?
do? Yeah, like moving up.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Listen, I was really, I'm from another generation too, right? What I so admire about the generation these days, right now, is that they are able generally to balance better. They do take the time for themselves that they need, right? But they do work really hard. They also have technology which can help move things along a lot faster.
That's true.
Gone are the faxes and
faxes.
And the pagers and those types of things. So I really admire this generation, of which my daughters are in this generation now too. And for me, I worked my way up. When I first moved to Hawaii.
What year was that?
Shh. That's not going to get on my good side. But it was a few years ago.
There we go.
So I actually grew up in Sydney, Australia, and then from high school there, then I went to Los Angeles, and I spent some time with my father there. And what a culture shock that was. I went to a girls' school, with my big claim to fame of going to school with Nicole Kidman. And then, when I got to Los Angeles, it was very different. Co-ed school, no uniforms, a lot more freedom. The curriculum to me was not as strict as what I was used to as well. So they told me I had to get another certificate, high school certificate. So I got a California proficiency there in the end. And then I moved to Hawaii, and they say, we don't take any of that. Now you're going to have to do a GED. So I got another one here. So I did that. And then I ended up at UHMC, and I studied sales and marketing.
What drew you into that? Because that's a very particular
I just had great interest in that.
Really?
I kind of liked the
sales and marketing.
The sales competitiveness and and the more outgoing side, and then I also liked the strategy part of it as well. I'm a Gemini, so I wanted both. Okay, so that's what I did. My lead instructor at that time was BK Greismer, who I understand is retired now, but she was an amazing lady and an incredible mentor. So I did my degree there, and you have to survive, right? So I started working at the airport as a leg greeter. The hair was a little longer then. And a little bit different look. And then basically worked my way up. I did transportation, destination management, and then hotel sales, marketing, catering, conventions. Then I actually went out on my own, had my own company for 15 years. My youngest daughter has special needs, and so it was important that I have a little bit more flexible schedule. So I think my last position before I went out on my own was with the Maui Visitors Bureau. And I went out with a contract with the Hawaii Visitors Bureau. They'd asked me to find convention business of 10,000 people or more for Oahu. So I would basically get the door open and then pass it on to their salespeople. So that was a lot of fun too. And then it just turned out, Island of Maui needed someone to do miscellaneous projects. And it was kind of like, talk to Toni. And things grew and grew. So then it became Ag Fest and Kanapali Fresh through, friends, hospitality friends that I had all these years. And special events, Maui Land of Pineapple, did some weddings along the way. Not my favorite, sorry, even though I know that you're engaged. But did a lot of all of that. So I really worked my way up, I guess you could say. I've been in the trenches.
Yeah.
You know, I've put in a lot of hours. I've done all the jobs. I've moved 12,000 people around Waikiki. I've, you know, done it over here for 3,000, you know, all of that. So I think that that's been really good for me because I feel more confident when I go into the next position, and yet every company is different.
Right.
And so you bring a foundation, but you're also open to learning new things. Yeah.
What would you say those fundamental skills or qualities are? Like people ask, like, oh, is there something, or is there like a character trait, or is it the open mind, or is it?
Yeah, I think commitment is really important, and to be focused on your goal, whatever that goal is, you know, and it could be a short-term or long-term goal. And I know sometimes we want to reach for the moon right away, and also at that point it feels very overwhelming, right? So I've learned to step back and say, okay, let's take it in these bite-sized pieces so it doesn't seem so overwhelming.
Right.
And you kind of create your own small goals to reach that ultimate goal. So I think that focus is really important. But I also think you really need to have a passion for what you do, like you do. You exude passion, and you can hear it when you speak. I mean, it's coming from here. And I think that is what makes the difference. Don't go into a career that you feel like you just have to do because you have to do it. Admittedly, some people need the money at the time for financial reasons, or they're going to take care of the family, or whatever it may be, but I think it's really important to do something that you're passionate about. Yeah.
I like that. Do something you're passionate about.
Yeah. I'm passionate about marketing. I just love it. I love coming up with creative ideas, trying new things.
That's for sure.
So funny?
No, because for as long as I've known you, Toni, like wherever you've been or doing, it's just your marketing is just crazy. From getting people to show up to gathering big things to doing something that happened only the first time it happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm willing to try.
Yeah.
You know, I had a mentor many years ago. His name was Don Takahashi. Shout out to Mr. T. He's retired now. He was with Prince Resorts, and he was the ultimate salesperson, that's for sure.
The ultimate salesperson.
Also marketing. He was both. And so he was an incredible mentor who I still, you know, think about and look back to what he, you know, shared with me over time. You know, he was passionate, and he used to come over and just kind of whisper to me about certain things. You might want to try this. You may find they react different that way. You know, it was those little tips and tricks along the way. And I hope that I can share that now that you know, that was quite a few years ago. So I hope that now with my experience, I can do the same for others.
Yeah.
I don't always want them to have the easy way out, but I know how to get there pretty quickly. But I think sometimes you need that experience along the way. So then it's ingrained in you a little bit more.
Wow.
Yeah. And one big thing was to always treat everybody equally. So, you know, I was doing groups at the time and servicing groups there at the hotel, and whether they had a group of 10 people or they were buying out the house, I treated them the same. They were VIPs. They were really important to us. And I've always used that. And always, I guess now it's natural. I just treat everybody the same that way. And I've never had any challenges with any of that along the way. It's always worked out really well for me.
Wow.
Because everybody brings something to the table.
Right.
You
That's
know?
true.
And you know, their $5 could mean a lot to them. You know. So I think it's appreciating what you have and appreciating the people that support you.
Toni, this is like great.
Toni.
Oh my gosh, sales, marketing, and so for the people listening to this who are like, what's the difference between sales and marketing?
Oh my goodness!
How does that differ? And like, what would you describe that?
Oh, in a nutshell.
In a nutshell.
It's pretty. It can be very technical, but the bottom line is, marketing is basically, you know, creating an emotional connection that you feel that you want to, like, come to the Maui Ocean Center, right? Sales is building your network of ambassadors out there. Like for us here, we have, activity agents, we have wholesalers, online travel agents, we have direct business as well. And so it's providing them with the tools and understanding of what we offer so they can also help sell us. It's not putting all your eggs in one basket, that's for sure. And especially now with the digital age, it's even more competitive than it was before.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, how has the game just changed in the last 12 months?
Yeah, it definitely has changed. I mean, a perfect example for Maui Ocean Center is, you could come any day, walk up to the front gate, buy a ticket, and walk right in. Well, you can't do that anymore. Now you have to make your reservation online and pre-purchase your ticket because we have capacity guidelines. So we only have X amount of people in the park at any given time, and reservations are every 30 minutes. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Big deal. So then, how do we still, accommodate all of those people, but we don't have as many as we did before, right? Yeah. So then you have to look at your operational model, and you want to make sure that these people are still getting an incredible, guests as we call them, get an incredible, 5-diamond experience. So that when they leave, they'll rate us on TripAdvisor and Yelp and organically share, their experience, social media, and it encourage others to come here too.
Wow, that's a good point because people will just take a picture, tag it, boom, Maui Ocean Center.
Oh yes, we love that. Yeah, we love that.
Oh,
absolutely.
Goodness. So, what would you say would be some of your Maui Ocean Center goals for this year?
The goals.
Yeah.
Well,
and how can we help? What can we do to help? Seriously, what can we do to? Because you helped so much, Toni. From back in the day to trying to boost my little self like get more confident. A little kick, man. Like go on the stage, go. You can do it. Take the mic. I was like, hold the mic. Hey.
That wasn't the case though. You didn't look like that. You looked very confident.
Like
Yeah.
Especially the first time.
I know that feeling. It's inside, but you didn't exude that at all. Not at all. I know that feeling too. I mean, I think we've all been through some of that at some time, right? Yeah. I think that there's so many different ways to be healthy mind, healthy body. One of the things here is that we did have an aquarium program.
What is that?
So meaning yoga.
Oh, okay.
And we'd actually do yoga right here in front of this tank.
In here?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we're hoping, that I can bring some other health benefits back, here, whether it be something like that. But we have already started with a new menu at Seascape Restaurant. So that's what I kind of gave you, just a couple little examples here. Yeah. So, I believe that with every business, there has to be a soul. You have to have your heart and soul, and there has to be some kind of background to that business that makes it unique and different, and in order for people to feel like they're making a connection, with you. And so Seascape did an incredible job in the past. They were very, very successful. We closed during COVID, and then we've reopened just recently on April 5 for lunch from 11 to 3. Wow. So I said, we really need to take a look at it and decide what we want to do with this. So there is a story about Maalaea salt. And Maalaea salt, which actually I just happened to have here. As you know, you can buy the white, but you can also buy this pink or red color salt. And it was originally, if you talk to Hawaiian cultural practitioners, they will give you a lovely long story about how this is evolved. But basically, there is a myth and legend that they had caught a lot of fish. Hiaka had caught a lot of fish and didn't know how to preserve it. And Pele came along and said, and I don't know why it was Pele, we'd have to ask our practitioner, and said, make this hole in the ground next to the ocean and put your fish in there. and leave it for a short period of time. And then basically what happened was the salt evaporated onto the fish and preserved it.
Wow.
Now, the color comes from the clay that was in that area at the time. And that clay was a red-pink color. Wow. And so that's how it ended up being like this.
That color,
yeah, isn't that cool? So now, you know, we all use it a lot now, right? But it's also, in the culinary world, it's the salt. So anyway, So anyway, so that's part of it. So now I feel that that's part of its soul, you know. Yeah. So we do use that in the menu, but the menu is no longer, you know, your basic hamburger. You know, now there's vegetarian burgers that are made in-house.
Vegetarian burgers?
Yes. And then we're using all local farmers. So if it's not from Maui, then it may be from the Big Island or Kauai. So your grass-fed protein from the local ranches.
That's awesome.
The heirloom tomatoes and beets from upcountry. We've got surfing goat dairy cheese. Wow. We've got ulu, you know, your breadfruit. You can see these gorgeous colored carrots, anui nui carrots, and of course the taro chips. And so our chef Henry created this fantastic menu, and I'm so proud of them, of what they came up with, because it's really unique and different. And it still has island flavor. So, you know, many of our visitors, this accommodates us locals, but it also accommodates visitors that want to try something a little bit on the edge. And by them coming and dining at the restaurant, they are actually supporting our sustainability on island, because the money is coming back here, right? Yeah. So we've also shared that message, and they're feeling really good. So they're enjoying the menu. The plates are clean, I'm told, and then they leave, and they're they feel like they've given back to the island. Yeah. Because some of them may not be in a position to do a beach cleanup or whatever it may be. Yeah. So anyway, so that's what it is.
The food here, it's locally sourced then?
All locally sourced.
Wow.
So Seascape is officially 100% sustainable.
And
all the menu items, everything.
What are some of these, the dip stuff?
Oh, look, that's Chef Henry's signature, but he uses a little coconut milk. He's got vinaigrettes, and he has a number of different seasonings, sauces, and dips that he is his secret recipes. Wow. Right. And he is such a talented chef, because he literally can take anything in your cupboard or anything in your refrigerator or freezer and create something out of it.
That's the kind of chef we got to have.
Yeah, I just kind of look at it like, just don't know.
What do we do with this?
Beep it, or you know, so very, very talented. So I'm really excited about that, and more and more will roll out. But just being 100% sustainable in that restaurant menu and all of their operations, it's a good thing.
So that's incredible. Like, so the change came. Was that during this whole COVID time then? The inspired change?
Yeah. Well, we knew when we knew we were going to open. We just looked at the menu and all agreed that we needed to do something different. Wow. And what change are we all going to make? You know, I'm no sustainability guru, but I believe in giving back to the community. And through maybe, you know, my marketing efforts, that's the way I give back, you know. I think there's all different ways that people can give back, you know, and so, like, you know, indirectly too with you, and, you know, seeing your talent and, you know, what you had to offer. What can I do for you? Well, at Queen Kaumanu Center, you know, I can get you up on stage and put you in front of others, and this accommodates everything of our goals at the time at Queen Kaumanu Center, but it also supports your professional goals as well.
See, that's what I want to just say about you, Toni, is like, from the time I met you, you're always a win-win kind of person. You're always a win-win, like, well, what's your goal? And then, it aligns together, we both win. We all win.
All about collaboration.
That's exactly.
Our scuba diver Harry's going to come over for a quick visit.
Scuba diver Harry.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I think Harry's been here for over 20 years.
Wow.
And when you think about it, I'm running around, you know, the park and typing on the computer and on the phone. Harry is in all of these tanks every day.
Oh,
and we just thought this would be a fun thing to share with you.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that cool?
Harry, you're the man.
All right, Harry. I thought you'd love that.
Oh my gosh, but we knew that. Oh my goodness.
And then you got to look at the other side.
Sharks are hungry.
Are you available for a dive?
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Thanks, Harry. Thank you. Have a good weekend. Aloha.
Wow.
Oh, isn't he
That's
great?
incredible.
So these guys
You're a genius, Toni.
can't live unless they're in the ocean at some point with the marine life.
Wow.
I mean, no, really. Like, they're like, when I see Harry and he's cleaning, the tanks or feeding or something, I mean, they can't spend a day out of the water. They've got to get in there at some point.
Right.
Yeah, it's just, it's the connection that they have with the ocean. They're just absolutely amazing. Wasn't that fun?
That was amazing. Like that sign, Toni, you're just a genius.
No. That's all the things that we do.
Wow.
But yeah, I just thought that would be kind of fun.
Oh my God. So like when people are watching this, so there's a bunch of different, seafood, not seafood, I should say that.
You're not eating them, honey. You're not eating them.
Yeah.
But, not these guys.
I just got excited.
There's some Maluas in there for sure.
Yeah.
Your black tips.
Black tip shore.
Yeah.
The manta rays.
The manta rays.
Manta rays.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we can actually, if you're up to it, we can walk through the acrylic tunnel.
Yeah.
Which is really cool because you feel like you literally can reach out and touch them.
Wow.
But isn't this fantastic?
This
I just
is
love this.
incredible.
And then the light coming in like that.
Is that the outside light?
You could be married here.
Oh, there we go. So is that the outside light or is that like a...
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's natural light. So we've created kind of pukas, as they say, in certain spots.
Gosh, yeah.
There's specific reasons for locations of that. Everything they do is science-based and to make sure that it's as natural an environment as possible.
Wow.
Yes, absolutely. So, it takes a lot of effort and it takes a village, that's for sure. And I so admire those people that know all of that. I'm just so fascinated by all of that because, I'm one of the people who, Joe Public, the guest that comes in and just rolls by, how it's gorgeous. I mean, I don't take care of my tank at home. So, yeah, they're very, very talented individuals. Yeah, and I hope to get more of our curatorial department in front, like we were talking about. We need to bring more people to the forefront. And admittedly, they enjoy their place, their positions, but I think that they have so much talent. It would be nice to recognize them for all that they do, because even during COVID, they were here.
They were here during
24/7.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we have to keep the marine life
to keep it going. Yeah.
happy. Yes. So I'd like to do that. So I believe in that. I believe in putting other people at the front.
Wow. See, Toni, that's amazing because everything that you're doing, you can feel like the heart behind it. Like,
I want to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whether it's here, whether it's the food, whether it's your previous places, or whatever it is, you're always very collaboration based.
Oh, I love to collaborate.
Yeah.
I do. So anybody I meet along the way,
Yeah.
I'm all about, so what do you do and where? And no, maybe we can do this. So maybe there's always something that you can do with that person.
Right.
Okay. And it may not be today or tomorrow.
Right.
It might be 6 months down the line.
That's true.
But I think I'm pretty good and have a good memory with that anyway, that if I do want to have a collaboration or there's something that creatively I've put together and I think it would be good for both of us, then I do. I keep it in my kind of mental bank and then reach out to them and see if it's something that they would be interested in, and I try and make it, I try to keep them in mind too, like yourself, you were just starting out, so, you didn't have $100,000 to invest in something, right? Okay. So, I try and keep that all in mind too, depending on their position, or maybe you have a goal specifically, your business is established, but you have a goal, right? And you're just having a little trouble getting there. I'd like to be able to help somehow if I can. And if I can't do it, of course, in my profession and where I work, then sometimes I can connect you with somebody else that it would be a good partner or collaborator and try it that way. Yeah. So I wholeheartedly believe in that, and giving back into the community as much as you can.
That's why you have the reputation, Toni.
I don't know. I don't know what kind of reputation I got.
That's why you have the reputation. Like, people just say, you gotta go see Toni. Yeah, Toni's life, when you're around Toni, life just gets better. I'm like, oh, wow.
I think
People
that,
say that.
Yeah, I think that, those that are around my same age probably the same way, that you've just been through a number of experiences along the way. And you've kind of found your niche, how you can help others, give back, and you kind of know what you want to. You're a little bit more confident in your space, and as you know, I'll always say too, if I can't help you, I can't help you, but it doesn't usually happen that way. At least I can connect you to somebody else, and I think it's a very nice investment, in somebody else's future, I think it's important.
So speaking of that,
Uh-oh.
What can we do together? Whether in the future or 6 months, 12 months.
Yeah.
Because I know you have like this brain that just goes marketing, strategic.
Okay, but it doesn't just like...
Yeah. So we just keep that in the back of we'll keep it as an open tab.
I'll definitely keep it right here. And I'll be thinking about that. I definitely will be thinking about that. You know who else is right now, who is a big fan of yours, is Jocelyn Kanaele. So she is opening up her own company, Happy Joy, which is a bakery.
Happy Joy?
Yeah, isn't that cute?
Wow, that's a great name.
Because she's like that. She's always happy.
Yeah.
She's always
happy.
Yeah. So I'm helping her right now a little bit, to try and come up with some fun things to kind of create her signature and her niche in this, this bakery world and wedding cake world. Yeah. So I'm hoping, that will work out too. Yeah.
And that's something that's not launched yet.
Well, she's there and she's taking orders, but and she has a couple of commercial clients now, but that was just very organic, kind of just asking, do you need, sometimes it can be that simple, but we're working a little bit on a marketing plan for her so we can really get the word out to everybody and so people know the difference of buying with her versus another company or just to try something new.
Wow.
Right, yeah.
Wow. So people are listening and they're like, I'm curious about that. How could they find her? Is it just like
You can go through me anytime.
Okay.
No problem.
Yeah.
Always welcome.
And where can we find you,
me.
Toni? For people listening.
So, I'm at Maui Ocean Center, so you always, I spend a lot of my life here now. Hence the reason why I'm not at Yanagida Fitness right now. But don't forget to carve out that time.
Yeah.
Okay? I try and swim in the mornings.
Nice. That's awesome.
But yeah, you're welcome to get me here, or please connect with me on social media. It's just Toni Rojas or Toni Rojas Maui on social media, and I'll be glad to get back to you. Just message me, and I'll be glad to get back to you if you want information on somebody else. Be glad to help. Always glad to help. I'll always acknowledge you, and if I can't help, I'll let you know. But maybe I can hook you up with someone else. Yeah, yeah. So you can connect with me to get to Jocelyn as well. Yeah, for now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And so for the Seascape, I want to go back to this because this just looks really appetizing.
It does, right?
I would eat the
taste
salad.
You can taste it. It's yours.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So what were the hours again for people listening?
Seascape the park is open actually 7 days a week.
7 days.
We're open 9:30 to 3:30. We take reservations from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's every half hour. But Seascape is currently open just for lunch from 11 to 3. And we sure hope we can open up for happy hour and dinner in the near future. And no doubt there will be a new menu and new libations for that as well, along with the classics, the traditionals. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So it would be terrific if you want to come down, and highly encourage reservations because of capacity guidelines. We have limited seating, but we all hope that will open up in the near future as well, and then if you don't want to and you just want to buy my jewelry.
Hey, you just buy your jewelry.
You gotta do my plug.
People are like, what is that? What is that?
So
for people listening,
for many moons, I've always wanted to have my own little jewelry line, right? Making my own jewelry. I have this absolute passion for Tahitian pearls, anything pearls, and shells and everything else. Shells I'm a little bit more hesitant about these days now, learning more about the oceans. But I have a thing about Tahitian pearls. So I did some classes, I've done a lot of research. I learned the hard way by making a lot of mistakes at home during COVID downtime. And said, you know what, I've never really pursued that passion for that, and I really would like to try.
Wow.
So I went ahead and set up an account. I've got my website ready, but it's not live yet.
Oh, so if somebody wanted to take a look or buy.
You can connect with me on Instagram or Facebook under Pineapple Pearl.
Pineapple Pearl.
Yeah, Pineapple Pearl, and it'll say by Taka, Taka, which is actually, it's kind of like my fast. I'm kind of standing behind, so I did it a little bit. I didn't want to put my name right up front on it.
Oh, okay. So by Taka?
By Taka. Taka is my maiden name.
Oh.
Yeah. So I thought I'll just put Taka in there. It'll be okay. No one will know it's me. Now they'll know because now you've just opened up the whole thing, whole can of worms. But so I haven't gone live yet. A little hesitant after all these years of always wanting to do it. Yeah, so you'll have to push me to press that button.
There we go.
Live. Yeah.
Oh my God, just like how you pushed me to MC.
Yeah.
And honestly, Toni, that was one of the best things ever, because going on the stage and then the next year after that, asking you to MC, and then the year after that. Yeah. I mean, that just led to speaking in front of other people, felt okay, and doing other presentations.
And your awards.
Right, that was because of you. And I mean, that's just incredible. I feel like I just feel so like humbled for even that recognition.
Well, that's very sweet of you to say, but it's all about your talent and your passion for what you do, and you exude that everywhere you go. To the point where I'm like, I need some of that happy juice. Do you wake up like this every morning?
After the cold shower.
Cold shower and lemon.
Hey, that's it.
Is it lemon
the lemon shot.
Lemon shot.
Lemon
that's
shot.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Apple cider vinegar. Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's it. Yeah. Before the sun, just boom, and then cold shower.
Cold shower.
That wakes you up. You just sit in there for 2 minutes. You're good to go.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah. All right.
No screaming, nothing.
No.
All right. And that's at what time in the morning?
About 4:40.
Right.
About 4:40 I'll jump in. Yeah.
Nice. I'll be dreaming of you at that time. Yeah. I mean, I do try to get up earlier because I try to do my laps for about an hour.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Race off to work. But 4 o'clock now.
No. We got Alan behind the scenes. Wakes up earlier. So
crazy,
and just on the podcast too, shout out, because Alan's training and she just got nationally certified at NASM.
Woo! Congratulations!
And she's training to be our general manager.
What?
So,
what?
Yeah.
We can have a general manager now?
Yeah, so there's Alan.
Wow! So, now we're talking.
So, there we go, podcast. And it's just incredible. But a lot of it, Toni, was I remember you told me, like, you gotta do more talks. Mm-hmm. And so that's why we're here today. And so this is what you told me to do like 2 years ago. But I waited until COVID. Yeah. It was more like a voluntold, right? It wasn't like, hey, you want to volunteer? It was voluntold. Like, hey, you need to do this. It's going to help you. And I was like, oh, man, yeah, it probably is. And it did.
Good.
So everybody that you help around, I just want to acknowledge you for that, because you're helping people, you're collaborating, you're doing other stuff with the community, you're helping them by buying their, the farms, right? You're essentially helping the families and bringing it here.
But when you do those types of things, you don't think twice about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just what you do. Mm-hmm. It's very nice of you to acknowledge and say thank you so much, but I really think it's just what we should be doing.
Yeah. It's incredible.
It's the right thing to do. I walk away feeling good too.
Yeah.
I don't do it for me, no, but I do walk away feeling good about it. If there's just been some type of adjustment, forward for them, whatever it may be. Yeah. That's really good. Yeah.
And see, that's why even like you're so modest about it, Toni. Like people.
Me modest. Yeah. That's right.
Like it's like when they compliment, and it's like, well, no, it's just boom. You know what I mean? Like, but that's what you are. Who you are, Toni. And before we get to the last couple questions, what do you want people to know about Toni Rojas? People listening, maybe for the first time. If it's the first time meeting you virtually in the video or audio.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never thought about that before.
Spicy. Spicy. You remember spicy.
I do.
Today's going to be a spicy day.
It's going to be a spicy workout. What is a spicy workout?
Oh,
exactly.
man. Just hot tamales.
Right. And it was always rated G, so I'm not really sure
rated G for
what spicy was. You know, I couldn't. But okay, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I always used to think, okay, all right, I'm going with you.
Yeah.
All right.
I remember. Yep.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if I could add. I don't think I've ever really thought about that. You know, I've been blessed with a fabulous family. I think I have had some bumps in the road like a lot of other people. I'm a 2-time breast cancer survivor. I was just diagnosed with trigeminal neuralgia, which kind of threw me through a little bit of a loop too. So I think that maybe just life experiences for everybody educate us more, bring us down to earth, hopefully make us more humble, and we think more about how much we appreciate our lives and everybody who are in it. I think that's what that's done over the years for me. And, you know, I think I mentioned earlier that I think I've learned a lot of things the hard way. And I just hope that, you know, now and then when I'm talking to someone that maybe I'm making it a little easier on them and they may not have to go through the same things, you know. I know I have a very, can have a very strong voice and opinion on things.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
But at the same time, you know, I have a rock at home, which is my husband.
Yes,
you know,
great guy. I always see him at the airport.
He is my absolute rock. And sometimes it's not always what you see on the outside or your experience, you know. So he keeps me in check. And he's my go-to when I have my moments. And I think everybody does, and everybody hopefully has that person that they go to, you know. But now that I have 2 daughters, and now that I have grandchildren, it's all about the grandchildren. So, you know, they would probably say, oh, Toni loved those grandchildren. She adored them. And I do. 2 beautiful boys. And I am so in love with them. Yes. So that's really important to me. Can you give me an easier question?
That was awesome, Toni. Yeah. And, you know, winding down to the last one.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I mean, when you hear fighting sickness with fitness, because I remember that came about around the same time we met.
Yes,
it was
did.
It was about late 16 or 17, because right after Kahumanu, I went on the radio and said it, and you were like, you got to do something with that title. And I did. So we trade protected everything. But I remember when I ran into you, Toni, what do you think? Fighting sickness with fitness? You're like, oh, that is brilliant, or something like that. And you boosted my confidence. I was like, oh, okay. Great. Okay, I think I'm going to trademark it. All right. Yeah. So speaking of that, what is fighting sickness with fitness? Like, when you hear that, what comes to your mind?
When I was growing up, different generation, we, fitness was important, yes, but it wasn't as part of your life as much as it is today, right? So, like I said, I've learned, over the years, and I remember, I should say, I'm experiencing right now at Yanagida Fitness, but I remember having to take medication, and I reduced the amount of medication that I needed to take while I was in your program. So, to me, that's, definitely fighting your sickness with fitness. And then I made changes in my diet. I became a pescatarian about, 4 or 5 years ago?
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that made a big change in my life as well. And now actually, feel bad for the fish, so I'm kind of... So now I'm getting closer to being vegetarian.
Wow.
And that made me feel so much better overall. Yeah. So I think that's all in the fitness category as well. Yeah. And then even though, you know, I'm exercising in the pool, it's also mental downtime for me. And I think that that's part of fitness also. It's your mental health. And I was never able to find, 10 minutes in a day, and I know that sounds stupid, but, I never could really find that, So now I have the grandbabies living with us too, and the whole family, so it's a little bit more chaotic than normal. So when I'm in the water and I'm under the water, that's when I get my time too. So by doing it in the morning, then I feel more refreshed, and I've moved the joints a little bit, and burned a couple calories, and I feel like it set my day off really well. And so then when I'm professionally distracted throughout the day and maybe into the early evening, I'm good. I still got my time in.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I think it's those three areas that has really helped me, and I do think that it does fight your sickness. I'm completely sold on all of that. Years ago I may not have been, but now I completely understand it.
Wow.
Yeah, because I felt the difference.
Wow.
Yeah.
Toni, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And if you guys like this episode, please leave your comments, subscribe, and check out Toni. Follow her. We're going to put all her tags and everything, Maui Ocean Center, Toni. All the links will be in the description. Click that. Check her out. And we will see you guys in the next episode. Out. Toni.